Presiding Officer, since I was elected as the first ever SNP MSP for Renfrewshire South in May 2016, there has not been a single day where I have not felt honoured by the opportunity to serve my constituents and humbled by the responsibility that this entails. I sit in this place, as we all do, as a representative. We are each expected by our fellow citizens to listen, consult and engage, but ultimately to exercise our own judgment on each issue that comes before us and in setting the course for our nation's future. That this place, our national parliament, is the centre of Scottish civic and political life is beyond dispute. It is undoubtedly the case that both this parliament and the Scottish Government as an institution command greater trust, respect and sense of relevance from the people of Scotland than Whitehall and Westminster do. And opinion polling suggests both that there is clear majority support across Scotland for this Parliament to take on additional responsibilities, and indeed that support for independence has increased since 2014. Presiding Officer, this is a context in which we meet here this afternoon to decide whether or not to express our consent to legislation made in another place that would end Scotland's membership of the European Union. How each member votes at decision time will be a statement on what esteem they hold this Parliament in. It will be a declaration of the regard in which they hold the devolution process, and it will be each member's answer to the democratically expressed views of the people of Scotland. Let us consider what these views are. In May 2016, the people of Scotland returned a Parliament overwhelmingly opposed to the principle of leaving the EU. At that time, though it would be easy to forget, that principle was shared by the vast majority of Conservative MSPs. Indeed, ahead of the EU referendum, nearly all MSPs voted in this chamber to support the principle of remaining members of the European Union. This view was confirmed on the 23rd of January 2016, when the people of Scotland voted by 62% to 38% in favour of remaining members of the European Union, with each of Scotland's 32 local authorities backing staying in the EU. At the general election of June 2017 and the European elections of May 2019, the SNP took the largest share of the vote on a platform opposed to the UK government's Brexit. And at last month's general election, the SNP won by a landslide on a pledge to do all we can to stop Brexit. We even put those words on the side of a bus. The only major party to stand on a commitment to get Brexit done were the Scottish Conservatives. We lost tens of thousands of votes and more than half of their seats, including East Renfrewshire, part of which falls within my Renfrewshire South constituency, the remainder falling within the constituency of Eastwood, whose current MSP is Scottish Tory interim leader and former Remainer, now Brexiteer, Jackson Carlaw. Elsewhere in my constituency, both Mary Black and Gavin Newlands were re-elected in 2017 and returned again last month, with five-figure majorities for the first time. Now, Presiding Officer, I highlight these specific results not to indulge in vain talk of my party's electoral success. Far from it. In recent years, we have all witnessed seemingly impregnable majorities crumble to dust, and political upset follow political upset, and any party who takes voters for granted will quickly find themselves out of office and relegated to irrelevance. Presiding Officer, the reason I point to these results is that the ballot box remains the most direct, forceful and consequential way in which people can express their political views at a given time. And at each opportunity over the past 4 years, my constituents in Renfrewshire South have rejected Brexit and supported the SNP in opposing Brexit. In Barrhead, where I was brought up, in Johnston, where I live, and from Linwood to Lochwinnock and in every other village I am privileged to represent, my constituents have made clear to me, and by majority at the ballot box, that they do not want to leave the European Union. Faced with this clear set of instructions from people in Renfrewshire South, there is no way in which I can possibly support or give any form of consent to Scotland being forcibly removed from the European Union. At decision time, it seems likely that this Parliament will vote overwhelmingly to reject giving consent to the European Union Withdrawal Agreement Bill. It seems almost certain that the Tory UK Government will, again, ignore the will of this Parliament, just as they have ignored the democratically expressed will of the people of Scotland. In doing so, the UK Government will have made a statement of how it views Scotland's place within the United Kingdom. Gone is the talk of an equal partnership and of leading the UK. In its place is blunt power, and disregard for devolution. This poses a question to each of us in this place and to the people of Scotland, and it is a question that cannot be avoided, will not be denied, and needs to be answered. This will be a bitter time for those of us who value our place as a European nation. But I hope it's a time when, as a Parliament and across parties, we can come together and chart a course for our country that puts Scotland's future in Scotland's hands.